Hey, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Who wants to hear about Mickey Mouse's second home? That's right, we're gonna take a look at Florida and try and figure out why Mickey Mouse and so many other people have decided to call this state home. Florida is known as the Sunshine State, and it gets plenty of it. Some cases maybe a little too much, judging by some of the older ladies I saw on Atlantic Beach when I visited like 10 years ago. I spent 10 minutes talking to one of the many over-tanned ladies on the beach that day. Noticed she wasn't saying anything, put my glasses on, took a look at her, and realized I'd been talking to a giant piece of driftwood for 10 minutes. Over-tanning and driftwood are not the only problems you might face in Florida if you decide to relocate. If you're thinking about it, you should probably watch my top 10 reasons not to move to Florida. Number 10. Hurricanes. Hurricanes and tropical storms hit Florida every single summer. In case you don't know what a hurricane is, it's an insanely powerful storm that when it hits land, storm surges wash everyone's crap out to sea. 3 months later, a bunch of dudes on a beach in the Ivory Coast are trying to reconstruct your flying machine while wearing your Italian loafers. Number 9. Sun damage. The downside of being the Sunshine State is too much sun isn't really good for you. Some sun is good, too much is bad. The same rule applies with cupcakes.
Ladies and gentlemen, wear sunscreen.
Number 8. It's a little swampy. A lot of central and southern Florida was built on swampland. Swamps are not a good time, unless you're a reptile or an insect. If you're a reptile or an insect, my first question is who taught you English and why? Why are you watching YouTube videos? Stop. Swamps are always the backdrop to movies where someone's trying to dispose of a body. Have you ever noticed that? That's never a good sign. And that's because everyone knows nobody wants to go looking for a live person in the swamp, much less a dead person. You never see a murder mystery movie where the backdrop is like a cupcake shop or something like that. And yes, that is 2 of 3 scheduled cupcake references. Number 7. Alligators. Alligators aren't just for swamps. It's not uncommon to find them in people's backyards and in their swimming pools. If you come across an alligator, keep your distance. They bite. And call an alligator wrangler. They have them. That's really a job. When he gets there, don't be afraid. He'll be wearing a mullet. And I know it's scary thinking that that's coming back in fashion, but rest assured, that is only within the alligator wrangler community. Just recently, a lady in Florida was killed by an alligator while walking her dog. Luckily, her dog, named Cupcake, survived. Number 6. Tourists. Tourists are all over Florida. Mostly in the major cities, Miami, Orlando, Tampa Bay, etc. But even in the lesser-known cities, you'll find far too many tourists. You can't escape them. Some places get so thick with tourists, you think you're in one of those like Where's Waldo books or something. They had 116 million people visit Florida in 2017, and that's according to visitflorida.com. Number 5. The bugs. You can't escape bugs in Florida. That's just a fact. They're like tourists, but they don't have cash to help out the local economy. Bug spray, whatever you can do, you'll need it in Florida. Number 4. The beaches. Florida's beautiful beaches are a thing of the past in a lot of cases. The locals know how to take care of their beaches, the tourists do not. It's almost like the tourists all went to that Russian war college back in the 1980s and studied scorched earth tactics. Because when they get there, they just trash the place and move on to the next one. Bacteria levels are high in most of the popular beaches, and trash floats in and out with the tide. When you move to Florida, you'll eventually learn where to go from new friends you make. Just stay away from the tourist ones and they're okay, but at the beginning, that's where you're going to go and you're going to make that mistake. Number 3. More wildlife. It's not just the insects and the alligators. They have black bears, panthers, bobcats, sharks, tons of snakes, and manatee. Most people don't realize this, but the manatee is a relative of the hippo. And like the African hippo, they kill more people every year than any other predator in Florida. I'm totally joking. Those things are about as dangerous as an underweight baby goat. Number 2. Climate change. In 2017, the U.S. government finally admitted climate change is real. Now the only thing that is up for debate is the amount that is caused by man. Either way, the oceans are starting to rise. This is not good for a state that's almost entirely at sea level. And this is a really bad thing. If it goes like most scientists predict, portions of southern Florida will be completely underwater, and Miami and Fort Lauderdale will become islands. They'll become like the new Florida Keys. And number 1, tropical heat and the speedo. If you decide to do anything away from an air conditioner in Florida, it includes profuse sweating most of the year. This, of course, is a bad thing. It leads to people doing the unimaginable. Wearing a speedo in public. No matter how much someone weighs, their physical condition, or their age, wearing a speedo is acceptable daily dress in Florida. Even if you're hours from the beach, people still do this. To me, the whole speedo part should be labeled a hate crime. Nobody wants to see that. Nobody needs to see a 70-year-old man wearing a banana hammock. It's not cool. Not cool. Nasty. Alright, so that's my top 10 reasons not to move to Florida. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, all that good stuff. Everybody have a great day. Be nice to each other.